Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Quick intro today. This is my cover of an Elton John song. I do still dress smartly most of the time. This is just one little side thing I do. You can take it, you can leave it, you can like it, you can not like it. At least I'm trying something different. Here we go, guys. Hello Fragcom, scent of the day today, Puig Agua Brava. It is a great citrusy, old school, citrusy green piney fragrance. No city sprays for me. Love it. Okay guys, some people have been saying I look like Elton John. I'll take that. You know what? I sound a bit like him too.
Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you in my mind. I'm still standing, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah.
Okay, well, you know, let me know. Is that cringe? Yes, of course it's a bit cringe, but at least it's a little different to the average person's YouTube fragrance video. Give me some credit for that, guys. Also, I've got to mention on a podcast, The Scent Geeks. Thanks, guys. This is what they said about me.
Dan wants to be noticed and to be the weird guy with funny costumes and a bright purple sparkly blazer. You know, to be so far the other end of the spectrum from what he used to be. He's getting talked about and causing controversy. So, you know, whether you agree with the way he's going about it, he's having the desired effect.
Yeah, interesting. I think one day they just don't get it. One day they will understand. This is a little bit over their heads, guys. The leader of the fragrance community is leading the fragrance fragcom revolution. One day you will understand. Okay, let's get into the video today. It's on a very interesting subject, which is simping. What is simping? Well, simping, apparently there's a number of different definitions if you look in different the Urban Dictionary or online. It used to just mean kind of a simple dumb person in Americans' parlance. Now it tends to mean someone who is overly sympathetic towards another person, sort of like putting them on a pedestal, and it's particularly now applied by the younger generation, particularly towards men putting women on a pedestal, maybe objectifying them, but in a sort of way that they're idolizing women and looking up to women that they have no chance of actually getting anywhere with. Okay, so we've got a very interesting video on this topic in the fragrance community from a one-time fragrance community member and reviewer who she's given up because she said it's infested with simps and you can't get anywhere unless you do either simping or what she calls, I love this term, simp milking. So if you're a woman and you put out videos with yourself looking sexy in a thumbnail saying make her want you, then you're milking the simps, which sounds like a really bizarre Pornhub subgenre. But yeah, apparently simp milking is a thing. And the lady who made the video, she's over in India and her name is Purvi Upreti, excuse my pronunciation. So let's have a look at it.
But what we're talking about today is kind of like, oh my goodness, I already know I'm gonna get so much hate for making this video.
I know that feeling.
So today, obviously, as you can see by the title of this video, we're talking about the simp problem that has been unaddressed, my friends. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody has mentioned it. Nobody admits it, but it is happening, and it is what makes the fragrance community so successful.
That's a bold statement right there. A very, very wide-ranging statement. I don't know about that. The fragrance community is a very big and wide-ranging thing, and the so-called simp problem, is that the defining feature of why the fragrance community, as she says, is successful? Intriguing. I was intrigued. I have watched this before, but I'm now reacting to the highlights. Here we go.
So you basically start making videos, and you, after some time of making videos, you see no success in your videos. Like, nobody's watching your content.
Sounds familiar.
You don't get a lot of views. Obviously, that's normal. That's obviously normal. It happens with every single person in every single niche. But what you naturally start doing is you start watching all these YouTube channel because you really need some advice on how you get successful on this platform. And so you start looking up all these videos, and the main advice that all these videos people like the YouTube, what do you call, like YouTube growth creators? I don't know what to call them, but there are a lot of these advice channels that exist that I have watched a lot of when I was starting off. Obviously, it's been only 8 months, I guess. I'm not even sure, but I watch a lot of those channels, and so you watch these channels, and the main advice that all these channels will give you is to actually learn from the people who are already succeeding in the game that you're in.
Okay, so yeah, well, that's kind of sensible to some extent. So yeah, there are channels which are just about how to be good on YouTube in general. So you could be doing fragrances, tech reviews, gaming, and they're telling you here's how to do it. Yeah, obviously to some extent, if you look at what's popular on other channels in your genre, that's sensible. I think the first mistake she's made there, she's only been doing it 8 months, so it hasn't taken her long to give up, because she's given up with the fragrance thing. You know, basing your whole outlook on looking at what other people have done, I don't think that's a good idea. So you should think about yourself. What can I do that's different? Just be yourself a little bit more. That's an important part of the recipe for success. So I would say just kind of thinking, I have to look at the most successful stuff from everybody else is a little bit of an unimaginative way to go about it, I would say. Just a little mild criticism of the lady there.
So you basically want to look at those people who are successful and kind of incorporate the things that they are doing right in your own videos so that you can grow as a creator. This is what everybody does in every niche, not just on YouTube. Like if you're an artist, you would first look at people like Vincent van Gogh. So I took my notebook and I went to study all these successful channels in the fragrance community, and I was like ready to like understand what I am missing here, what I should do better to gain more followers or to succeed in a community like this or something. And I realized that's the moment of realization, my friends. I realized that this whole community is basically made, like more or less, you know, let's say like 80% of the community is simps.
Okay, bold statement again. On this subject, simps is a modern term. I think TikTok is a place where it's really kind of been used a lot, and then it's spilled over all kinds of people. We've got Miami Cuddles, my friend here in the fragrance community over in Miami, and he uses that term a lot and calls people simps. You know, I don't know about this term. I'm not sure I like it. It seems to be implying that people who look up to women, well, she's saying objectify them, and I guess we don't really want to just objectify women. That's not good. But if you sort of make videos about how to make yourself more attractive to women, if you look up to women or put them on a pedestal, or I don't know, say sometimes even it feels like if you say anything nice about a fellow reviewer, or if you you make videos about, I did a video about sexiest female reviewers. A lot of the sort of feminist type people didn't like what I said there, but also some people on the other side of the spectrum say you shouldn't be sucking up to these women, shouldn't be simping. You know, I'm not sure I like this term. I think, you know, it's completely natural for men, if they happen to be heterosexual, to like to think about how they might meet a nice woman if they don't happen to have one. And, you know, I'm afraid it's just a fact of life that people do watch videos. If there's an attractive woman, it's a basic instinct that you might be more likely to click on that video. And to call that simping, I mean, we're all simps a bit, all heterosexual men, I guess. I mean, are we guilty of being simps or just guilty of being normal red-blooded human beings? Yeah, I'm not sure about this whole simping term. I'm not sure I buy into it, but let's see what she says anyway.
Guys, I have said it. I don't care what you think. This is the truth, okay? And don't worry right now. Like, before you attack me, I'm gonna prove it to you right here, right now. So one thing that was common in all these channels was basically objectification of females, which is basically an essential part of gaining views from simps, because that's how they function. Weak men need things to make them weak, and so the only way to make those men who are weak much weaker is to actually show them your goods. And so that's pretty much common in all these channels.
Okay, well, I like the articulateness of this lady. Probably English is not her first language, and she's still, you know, speaking really, really intelligently and putting her point across well. However, I kind of disagree on this point on two fronts, actually. I think it's insulting to both sides. It's insulting to the men to say that men who maybe are more likely to watch a video because there's an attractive woman presenting it are therefore weak, and it makes them weaker if they do that. I mean, it's just natural that we all click. So, yeah, I've got Instagram. I don't ever type in women in bikinis. I don't search for much. I don't type much, but the thing learns what you like. I like looking at vintage watches. I get get a lot of those. Of course, there's a ton of fragrance stuff. Sometimes I get a lot of these things where it's like a rhinoceros fighting with an alligator, and I can't help clicking on those. It shows me quite a few of those. And yes, I'll be honest, there are a few women in bikini or whatever attractive famous actresses keep popping up because I'm human, and I do click on those because I'm a normal red-blooded man. It doesn't mean I'm objectifying women in a really bad way. I shouldn't have to feel ashamed about that, either from a sort of, if you're a feminist, you say, oh, you're objectifying those women. Well, no, I'm just a normal human being with blood flowing through my veins, and I have natural instincts, and it's natural to click on that stuff. And other people maybe from the other side would say, oh, you're simping, you shouldn't put these women on a pedestal. Well, no, it's just normal stuff. So I think that it's a little bit insulting to the men to say that they're weak if they maybe, are attracted to images, videos or whatever with attractive, alluring women. I think that's insulting to the men. Also, it's insulting to the women to say that all they can really offer, a lot of them, the successful, she's going to say the successful female fragrance YouTubers, is to show, I think she called it, their goods. I don't think that's really fair. So she's kind of objectifying them there in what she says. I kind of object to this but from two different sides. So there you go.
If it's a female making videos, she's gonna kind of show more skin, kind of like give like that provocative look in the titles or something. And if it's a male making fragrance reviews, they're gonna get models, okay, and they're gonna make them wear provocative clothes, and they're gonna put her in the thumbnail like that, and that's how you basically get views. That's how you get popular. And the second thing that you must do to be popular in this community is to mix in like a very what you say, like a okay, that's not the right word to say. What I mean by that is you have to like put in a title like drive her crazy, make her wet. Trust me guys, they will pull out their last few bullets that they have, and they will write a title like make her wet or something, God knows. Basically the accumulation of having your what do you call, like, you know what I mean, in your thumbnail, and putting in like a very cringy, if I have to be honest, but like a very cringy sort of title like turn her on, get her attention, like you mix in all of this, and you basically have the success formula to get the attention of all the simps in the entire universe.
Okay, well, that is true to some extent. That, yeah, of course, people do that. I mean, I've done it a little bit. I've put, I did the sexiest reviewers video. It wasn't actually the massivest video that I ever made in views at all, but it had pictures of some attractive female reviewers on the thumbnail, and that was a good thing to get some people to watch the video. And I've done it in other videos, perhaps further back in time. I've done things where I've just put a random model from the internet in the picture, and yeah, I guess that what she's alleging there does go on, of course. And some of the female reviewers, I mean, to say make her wet, I haven't seen a title quite that blatant yet. That's a bit gross, but yeah, well, I have seen things like make her hot or make her want you both from female reviewers and probably to a lesser extent from male reviewers. So it definitely does go on, but I think, well, let's talk about some channels who do that. Okay, let's pick three. Curly Fragrance is the biggest one. I think she'd probably say, yeah, I do milk simps. I mean, she would admit it because she's very brazen, and I like her style. I think she's a really intelligent woman. She knows a lot about fragrances, but she does know how to get views on YouTube. So some people are using that quite a lot in their channel. I think that's fine. Other people are sort of on a middle ground, like Demi Rawling. Yes, she's very attractive. I'm sure a lot of men watch the videos because of that. And she does have some videos saying sexiest men's fragrances and that kind of thing, which is again implying, kind of the implication is, if you want to meet someone like me, you wear these fragrances and we're going to think you're attractive, and yeah, so she's using that a little bit. However, you can see some big videos from her with big views, which are for the best women's fragrances, and I'd imagine that can't really be, that's not really simp milking, because men aren't interested in wearing women's fragrances. So there's obviously more to her channel than just this. I think it's just part of all of these channels, some to a greater extent, some to a lesser. Monica Chiok, let's take her. Now, I think I've met her. She's a really nice person, quite a low-key, humble, really, really charming lady. She makes the videos with her partner, maybe is her husband or boyfriend, and they work together. He does a lot of the filming and editing, I think. They're very professionally made videos. videos. She speaks very well. She's a great presenter. She's in the thumbnails. She doesn't dress in any way provocatively. She's just her, sometimes she wears glasses. If it's made a video in the summer, maybe you see her shoulders, but it's just her on the screen. So yeah, does that help her to get some views, that she looks attractive in the thumbnail? Yes, but I put myself in the thumbnail. We all put ourselves in the thumbnail. She can't help looking good. So I don't know if she's being too brazen. I guess she probably knows she benefits from young guys finding her attractive and clicking on the video. But sometimes this woman's going to go into territory where she's sort of saying that's all they're offering, and I don't think that's quite fair.
And that's what I realized, essentially. And I know a lot of you will be wondering, what on earth is the problem with simping? I don't think simping is a problem, my friends. Everybody is doing it, from like TikTok. TikTok can be named as Simp City, like renamed as Simp City, because it's basically, like, have you seen Bella Porsche with her Simps? Yeah, there's nothing wrong in it. But the problem is, there's nothing wrong in addressing it as well. Like, if it exists, let me talk about it. I think I really respect people who are honest about the fact that, yes, I make money off of Simps. If somebody's asking you what your business model is, and if you're a successful fragrance reviewer, I think you should be honest and say, hey, I haven't done anything like extraordinary. I haven't done anything remotely creative. All you gotta do, my friend, is show your boobies to the world, and you will for sure get 100,000 views on your videos, and you will 100% then be sponsored by all of these popular fragrance brands. You're gonna be successful. You're gonna be bougie. So essentially, that transparency is the reason why I'm making this video, because if anyone is already in the fragrance community who's trying to be successful, I can kind of share this formula with you if you want to apply this, because if you don't apply this, there's nowhere to win, because there's a lot of limitation to talking about fragrances. First of all, nobody can smell the fragrance that you're talking about, so that's already a loss for us, the people who want to make fragrance reviews. And second of all, when you have this big of a competition, when you're competing with simp milking, when you're competing with people who are making money off of simps, you lose, my friend, because intelligence can only get you so far in this world.
Okay, now that is taking it a bit far, I think. That's not fair. First of all, she said that they've done nothing creative. Let's take, she hasn't mentioned any particular channels, but let's say, for example, Curly Fragrance. She has done creative things because she brings in her friend Miss Fresh. She puts a lot of editing into the videos. She knows a hell of a lot about fragrances. And, there's quick cuts and stuff. There's editing that goes into this stuff. There's a lot of fragrance information actually in there. Yes, she's a little bit provocative. None of these women have actually shown their boobies. You can't do that on YouTube. She can't help looking good, and of course she doesn't mind that helps her channel. Even more so, you can say Demi Rawling, very, very professional, high quality video. The camera quality, the way that she presents is very well presented. She could be on the TV or something doing a program, but she's doing it on YouTube on her own. Great collection, great knowledge of fragrances. Yes, she benefits from being attractive. I think it's unfair though to say they've done nothing creative or clever with their channel other than look good. I think there was a page 3 or glamour model in Britain in the 2000s called Lucy Pinder, and someone said, do you think you're talented or something? And she said, well, I can't really claim I'm talented because just because I've made a lot of money out of having big old boobies. And well, in her case, it was kind of true, because it was just all about looking sexy with big boobs. None of these women can you say that about. So I think that's very unfair, and you won't. It's not as easy as you'll just do that and you'll get 100,000 views for sure. And it's not that simple. So I think she's being very unfair on some really, really good fragrance reviewers. Okay, I really do. Also, she's saying that's the only way you can get ahead in the YouTube game. That's not true. There are really big channels that don't do this at all. So let's take male channels. Let's take Sebastian, I've forgotten the name of his channel. It used to be called Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. I've forgotten what he's called now. Sebastian Jara, he does loads of in-depth reviews. He's got loads of subscribers. I don't think he hardly ever does a compliments video. He never talks about how to get hot chicks or anything like that, and his channel is really, really big. So, there's loads of other ways you can do it. Also, let's think of other channels. We've got Soki London in the UK, huge channel, more subscribers than me by quite a long way. absolutely doesn't do clickbait videos that are aimed at men, or as far as I can see. She's not flaunting her, she's in the thumbnail, she looks great, but she's not doing any of the things that this lady's complaining about, simp milking, and her channel is a big success. So I think the thing is, the so-called simp milking is one thing in your arsenal that you can use to a greater or lesser extent, and frankly I think that is fine. I don't even call it simping or simp milking. Men, the heterosexual ones, are attracted to attractive women. If you are lucky enough to be one, you're going to get a few more views. And sometimes if you throw out a video that says make her want you, best date night, sexiest fragrances, or I've seen some of these ladies do this fragrance tested by other ladies too, or the guys, Jeremy gets sometimes ladies to test the fragrances. I suppose, is he simp milking because we're all looking to see what ladies want? Yes, it goes on and it's fine. It's just the way the world is. It's not simping. It would have been the same in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Men want to see what might make them attractive to women. A lot of men think that. It doesn't make men necessarily weak, but it is a bit dumb if you're a man and you look at videos just to sort of see that kind of thing. Just wear what you want, guys. Aramis Tobacco Reserve, great fragrance, creamy and a lovely tobacco note, kind of fresh and with that beautiful green tobacco all at once. Is it good for the compliments? Do ladies like it? I've no idea. I like it. Wear what you want. Don't worry about what other people think. You don't need external validation. So she's right that people are a bit dumb and weak if they really sit there slavering over these videos and thinking that they've got a chance with ladies if they listen to a top 10 on date night fragrances from someone who looks maybe a little bit out of their league. The ladies on the screen there are really nice, and some of the guys watching the videos probably wouldn't have a chance in hell with them. But if they, at some subconscious level they think they might, or with somebody similar, if they buy these fragrances, that is a bit sad. So she does have some points here, but she's taking it too far. IMHO.
And I realized that I basically don't fit into the fragrance community well, because the content you can make about fragrances is pretty much very limited, and it always comes down to all those top 10 best fragrances for the summer videos, or you're just gonna end up doing that in the end, because there's not a lot of depth that you can try to find in this community. Because basically what this whole thing comes down to when you talk about fragrance is that is something that is a material thing, and how much can you talk about something that's material?
Okay, so overall her point, yeah, she's got some points. It's very limited fragrances because you can't smell them. If you review technical gear, you can show images of it on the screen, talk about the functionality. If you review watches, you can do nice close-ups of the watches. If you do gaming, you can actually pretty much play the game on camera and people feel like they're in the game. The smell, you can just talk briefly about how it smells, and then you've got to come up with something else to make the video interesting. So that, yeah, she's got a point there. There's some very valid points. I like this lady. I like the way she presents. I don't agree with everything she said there, though. Let's give you examples of really great channels that are not simping or simp milking at all. I've given one then, Pika fragrance in the UK.
If you've never ever tried Cruz del Sur 2, please sample it, because it is expensive, but give it a go because it's absolutely incredible.
Clement CC.
For me, Flores, you can compare it to Chanel. Even if it's oud and it's honey, it's not sticky and it's not animalic. That's it. It says it all. It's balanced to a level of perfection that is incredible.
Probably some guys like that she's a really lovely French lady and watch the videos because of that, but she's not really playing that game in a really brazen way at all, and she gives great knowledge of the fragrances, great kind of character, personality, intelligence that comes across. Same with Pika fragrances. Greta Beth.
There hasn't been any coverage of this on YouTube, and I know a lot of people have been asking for it.
Okay, I'd be lucky to have her on my live streams. Talks just about her own collection, mainly fragrances that would lean towards maybe unisex or feminine. She looks great and glamorous too. They all do, but their channels are doing fine. But they're not exploding in the kind of curly fragrance way of suddenly 50,000 views on a video. So if you want to go viral, if you want to get massive quick, yeah, that is one of the things that could help you do that. The sexy thing, maybe the appealing to the so-called simps. Yes, I get it. It could happen, but if you stick at it and you've got real passion for fragrance, you can still do fine. I've seen people shoot past me, Monica Chioc, curly fragrance. I don't resent that at all because my channel still grows steadily and I still have what I consider a successful life without simping or simp milking. I do some compliments videos now and again, try and get some sex in the themes of my videos to get a few more views, but it doesn't always work. People actually like me to talk about great fragrances that they can buy and try. So you can have a modest success if you work hard and be yourself and stick at it. I like some of what she said. There is some truth in it, but she's taken it too far. Fragrance is not all about simping. These people who make the channels, from the very, very intellectual channels where the lady doesn't use her sexuality at all, right up to people like Curly Fragrance who have no less knowledge, no less skill, but maybe they do, in her case, know what they're doing a bit to get the guys watching. Absolutely fine. I would do exactly the same in their shoes probably if I could, and I don't blame them one little bit. Be yourself, wear what you like, watch videos, don't think anyone can tell you how to meet women. They can't. Guys, that's my view. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project, and sometimes life may stink, but we can always smell good. Bye-bye.
Bon viveur, le nouveau parfum pour un barnetnaughton Sol. Parce que la vie est faite pour être appréciée.